Now past the halfway point of the 2025 NFL season, it's clear that several players have not lived up to expectations, nor their pricey salary. And if certain teams want to see improvement, well, they'd better study the game film and sit certain players for better options who are inexplicably on the bench. So with that, let's dive into 10 notable NFL starters who need to be benched ASAP. Tua Tagovailoa. Alright, this will sound a little crazy off the bat, but hey, hear us out. The Dolphins can't get out of Tua Tagovailoa's contract anytime soon. They're stuck with him through at least the 2026 season. That also doesn't mean that they have to let him finish out 2025 as their starting QB. Remember, the Dolphins took flyers on Zach Wilson, the number 2 pick at the 2021 NFL Draft, and Texas Longhorns product Quinn Ewers, who was drafted in the 7th round. We're not here to tell you that Wilson will suddenly have a career revival in Miami, but I don't know, maybe it's worth seeing what he can do in a non-crappy New York Jets offensive system. Maybe something's there with Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane as his primary go-to weapons. I mean, probably not, but hey, if they don't want to give Wilson a shot, then why not see what Ewers can do? Remember, he was once regarded as a potential first-round pick before injuries and a shaky final year at Texas led to his draft slide. The point is, the Dolphins know what Tagovailoa is, a middling starting QB who cannot carry the team on his back. At this phase, why not see what Wilson or Ewers could do? You know, just to shake it up a little. Oh, and get this, if the Dolphins bench Tagovailoa and the offense takes a major step back, then hey, they just enhance their tanking chances for a higher draft pick. It's a win-win for everyone. And who knows, maybe benching Tagovailoa for the final stretch will light a fire that he needs in order to get more laser-focused for 2026. Cam Ward. In the case of Ward, we're not saying that the Tennessee Titans have to give up on him altogether because of his disappointing rookie year. Rather, this is more so a case of protecting his long-term health and self-confidence with the 2025 season already being in the toilet. It's hard to blame Ward for the mess in Tennessee. I mean, they surrounded him with complete garbage, at least on the offensive line, and no true game-changing skill position weapons to work with. And when the defense is allowing nearly 30 points a game, then I mean, oh boy, how the heck's a rookie QB supposed to keep his team in games? Ward has taken way too many hits behind that woeful offensive line, and though he won't admit it, it's clear that there's no confidence in that arm right now. The Titans will likely finish with the first overall pick again, so there's no sense jeopardizing Ward's long-term health and forcing him into taking more and more blows when the season's already lost. The Titans may as well sit Ward and start veteran Brandon Allen the rest of the way. Allen only has 10 career starts under his belt, but he might provide a mini jolt on the offense that hasn't had a single spark all year. If not, then hey, like we said with the suggestion of Miami benching Tua, putting in the backup QB helps your chances of securing a higher draft pick. Ramondre Stevenson. Stevenson was the New England Patriots' designated starting running back for the first half of the season, only losing his RB1 job to prized rookie Travion Henderson briefly after missing time with a toe injury. It was understandable for Mike Vrabel to want to roll with the bruising, hard-running veteran RB to begin the season while Henderson eased his way into the pros. But during Stevenson's absence, all we learned is that it's time for the rookie out of Ohio State to take over the RB1 role. In the 3 games that Stevenson missed, Henderson rushed for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. If the latter is averaging more rushing yards per attempt and per game, then what sense does it make to keep him as the RB2 behind Stevenson? Seriously, there's nothing wrong with giving both running backs ample playing time, but it's clear that Henderson is the superior and, well, more explosive running back. Thus, Stevenson should be removed from his starting role and play behind Henderson the rest of the way. Jonathan Jones. A longtime mainstay in the New England Patriots secondary, Jones has been a disaster in every way with the Commanders. Full disclosure, Marshawn Lattimore would have been on this list instead of Jones if not for a season-ending ACL tear. Honestly, it's kind of shocking just how bad both Jones and Lattimore were as a quarterback duo in Washington together. With a major rebuild on the horizon, the Saints sent Lattimore to the playoff-bound Washington Commanders ahead of the 2024 trade deadline. Lattimore was still performing at a high level in New Orleans, but the trade to Washington has been a mega disaster. Since coming to Washington, Lattimore has allowed an opposing passer rating of nearly 100 and almost 14 yards per reception in coverage. His PFF grade is barely above the 50% mark too. Well, Jones hasn't been any better in DC. His PFF grade is in the low 40s, and his passer rating allowed when targeted is north of 100. With the 2025 season lost anyways, I mean, shouldn't the Commanders just give extended playing time to backups Noah Igbenogany and Darnell Savage Jr. and just see if they can be an upgrade over Jones? Not like he's gonna be in Washington after the season anyway. Theo Benedette. The Chicago Bears drastically rebuilt their offensive line in the offseason after watching Caleb Williams go down a league-leading 68 times last year. The O-line has improved drastically this year, but Theo Benedette is not a reason why. A frustrated Ben Johnson benched struggling veteran Braxton Jones for Theo Benedette, a 2024 CFL second-round pick from Canada who wound up signing with the Bears as an undrafted free agent. Well, Benedette has been anything but an actual upgrade over Jones. He too is challenging for the NFL lead in penalties committed, and ranks near the very bottom in PFF's overall grade and pass blocking metrics among offensive linemen. We just can't help but think that Ozzie Trapilo is worth a look in the left tackle spot over Benedette. Or heck, maybe Jones should get a second chance when he returns from the injured reserve. Regardless, the metrics don't lie. Benedette is a major liability on that O-line and cannot be trusted to protect Williams against tougher opponents. Emmanuel Forbes. The Washington Commanders needed to just see 20 games of Forbes in one of their uniforms in order to pull the plug. The number 16 pick of the 2023 NFL Draft was a disaster in DC, and was probably thrilled when they waived him late in the 2024 campaign. The Los Angeles Rams, who love their reclamation projects, decided to take a chance on Forbes and play him for 2 games last season. With more time to learn the playbook over the offseason, Forbes opened the 2025 campaign as one of the Rams' designated starting corners. The Rams may be among the primary Super Bowl favorites thanks to their top 5 offensive and defensive units, but Forbes really needs to be shown the bench ASAP. Per Pro Football Reference, Forbes is allowing nearly 2/3 of pass attempts in his direction to be completed. He allowed 3 touchdowns in coverage and a 95.8 passer rating when targeted over the Rams' first 10 games. What's bizarre is that Forbes is getting more playing time than veteran Darius Williams, who's low-key been excellent in coverage this year. Why on earth is the 2023 draft bust getting more playing time than the far superior option? With Akello Witherspoon also expected to return before the playoffs, Forbes better be feeling the heat. But again, it's just kinda wild that he hasn't been benched in favor of Williams yet. Jawan Taylor. The 2025 season has not gone as expected for Chiefs fans. Still, there is one silver lining. With each passing week, they inch even closer to finally ridding themselves of Jawan Taylor's horrible contract. It feels like the Chiefs are only starting Taylor because they want to get every penny they can out of the 4-year, $80 million deal that they regrettably handed him in the 2023 offseason. Yeah, how's that going now? Taylor's once again among the league leaders in penalties committed with run blocking and overall PFF grades of below 50. Why in the world is this guy playing over Jalen Moore, who has been much better in a rotational role? Even career backup Wanya Morris has performed significantly better than Taylor since they both joined Kansas City in 2023. What in the world is Andy Reid doing by playing Taylor over 2 much better options? These guys want to win a Super Bowl, right? Or is this about playing personal favorites? Does anybody know the answer? Anyone? Hello? Riley Moss. One beauty of being Riley Moss is that it's easy to be bailed out when you play on a star-studded defense like that of the Denver Broncos. With 2024 Defensive Player of the Year Patrick Surtain II, All-Pro safety Talanoa Hufanga, 2025 first-round pick Jahdae Barron, and the league's best pass rush leading the way, it's kinda easy to overlook how significant a liability Moss has been in their secondary. Moss is in danger of finishing as the league leader in penalties taken, and it's all because of his careless pass interference calls. He's been Denver's weak link in the secondary, and on the verge of surrendering a 90+ passer rating for the 3rd straight year. The Broncos are using Barron in a limited role. He's not experienced by any means, but we're sure he'd be an upgrade over Moss ASAP. At least he wouldn't be committing back-breaking penalties like Moss is. So, Sean Payton, how about we put the team first and sit Moss as soon as possible? L'Jarius Sneed. After winning his 2nd Super Bowl ring with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023, he was traded to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a 3rd-round pick and a swap of 7th-round draft selections. He then signed a 4-year extension worth $76.4 million with his new team. Sneed's first season in Music City was a mega disappointment, as injuries limited him to 5 games. When on the field, Sneed was one of the NFL's worst cover corners by all advanced metrics. Unfortunately, Sneed's play has not improved whatsoever in year 2. Before landing on the IR with a quad injury, Sneed garnered a woeful 50.4 Pro Football Focus grade in 7 games. He allowed a pathetic 120.0 passer rating when targeted and 3 touchdowns in coverage per Pro Football Reference. When Sneed is cleared to return, Tennessee should do everyone involved a solid and just bench him. He has been atrocious in 2 seasons with the Titans. Clearly a product of the Chiefs' golden system. Why on earth should a guy who is getting ripped apart in coverage time and time again be allowed to return to the field? Sit him for the year, then cut him in the offseason. It's a very easy call. Geno Smith. Oh, I mean, really? What more does Pete Carroll need to see? Tom Brady and Mark Davis did not hire Pete Carroll, trade for Geno Smith, and use the number 6 pick on Ashton Genty to be an AFC bottom feeder yet again. But here we are. Nothing has gone right for the rebuilt Raiders in the first season of the Carroll-John Spytek era. The blame can fall across the board, but the ex-Seattle Seahawks Pro Bowl QB has only made matters more difficult for the AFC West team. After an ugly Week 11 home loss to the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football, Smith was up to 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and an 80.9 passer rating. Remember, this guy has Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty as his main weapons. You'll have a tough time convincing us that Kenny Pickett or even Aiden O'Connell would do worse than Smith. It is blatantly obvious now that the latter was a product of Seattle's QB-friendly system that has helped Sam Darnold enjoy the best season of his career. Smith clearly isn't the solution that the Raiders had hoped for. Pickett and O'Connell are still young enough to warrant extended looks behind center. So who knows, maybe one of them will provide the jump that this offense needs. Either way, Geno time needs to end in Sin City ASAP. But hey, what other NFL starters need to be shown the bench as soon as possible? Are there any notable names that we may have missed? Are there any names here that you may disagree with? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.